Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the new You Asked For It. We're giving it to you. Kissing Bandit t-shirt. Only at tpublic.com/user/YoBroNation1. Come get the shirt before he comes for you. And you know what he'll do. Get the t-shirt. Only at the TeePublic store for YoBroNation. YoBroNation1 at tpublic.com. Get it before he kisses you. Really, seriously, go get it. Buy it. Welcome, Yo Bro Nation, to the Yo Bro Gaming and Review channel. I almost messed up that intro for like a fourth time. But here I am doing my second installment of the Halloween Countdown series, Countdown to Halloween series, whatever you want to call it. I'm here doing my second video for this. Halloween's 2 days away, and I'm excited. I have a video coming either on Halloween night or early Halloween, or early on the 1st. Just depends on when I get everything together and finished up. It's going to be a fun video. I'm not going to tell no one what it is. This is top secret. No one to know nothing. So today I'm talking about one of my favorite movies in one of my favorite franchises, Scream. Scream 2. As much as I enjoyed the first one, I enjoyed Scream 2 that much more. Scream 2, of course, is once again directed by the director of another series I love, the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Wes Craven. It's also written again by Kevin Williamson, who also has a little role in this as one of the interviewers. And stars Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, David Arquette as Dewey, the former deputy, and Courtney Cox, who later becomes Courtney Cox Arquette, who of course is reprising her role as Gale Weathers. This also has Jamie Kennedy once again as Randy, and Liev Schreiber, who reprises his role as Cotton Weary. There's a whole slew of cast members and a lot of people who just kind of appear in this movie. I'm going to kind of go over the list of all these people who showed up in this movie. So you had Timothy Olyphant, who is Mickey. You have Jerry O'Connell, who is Derek, who is Sidney's boyfriend, who she's sketchy about in this movie. Understandably so. You have Elsie, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, Elsie Neal as Haley. Laurie Metcalf, fucking Jackie herself, is in this movie as one of the reporters, who you find out later on she's somebody else. Dwayne Martin, who is Joel, who is the new cameraman for Gale. And then here's just some random appearances throughout the movie. Two of my favorite right off the bat, Tori Spelling and Luke Wilson, who play Movie Sidney and Movie Billy. Of course, Stab is a movie that's taking place in this movie that takes place during the events of the first movie. You also have Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith, who are Phil and Maureen, who are on the date at the beginning of the movie. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, who pops up as Cece, and Buffy gets it and does bite the bullet in this. Too bad Buffy couldn't take care of herself in this movie. And Joshua Jackson from the Dawson's Creek fame also appears in this as a film student. Look, this is a big cast, but it really does just focus on Sidney and her friends throughout this movie. Of course, this movie takes place a year or two after the events of the first movie. Sidney and Randy is now in college. Gale has now written a second book, and she's a bigger star than she was. She's, nighttime, big time news coverage. Dewey is no longer a cop. He's kind of like a PI at this time, I think. So, the events, things have gone forward. They're now in college. Stab is now out. Stab is a thing, which has kind of got, crazies calling Sidney and trying to, what's your favorite scary movie and all that stuff. But you can see Sidney's coping well with this. Well, you have Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith who get killed at a premiere, one of the premieres for Stab, and end up dying. Now, look, just that scene alone, seeing how people are dressed for this movie, I don't see that very often anymore in theaters. I think the last time I saw people really get dressed up like this was for The Force Awakens when it came out. I mean, people were dressed up in Jedi garb and everything. So for this, it's very realistic. And what I like about Wes Craven with these movies, he's really looking at the industry and how it is with how they treat movies. And even in this one, he's kind of even taking a shot at his own, sequel type thing, taking shots at sequels. And he does that even on his own. And he's really turning it on his head. And he's addressing things with sequels and how they can be not as good as the other ones. But so you see them die, which leads to obviously everyone coming to campus, all the reporters. Oh, and then they start wanting to talk to Sidney. So Dewey shows back up. Sorry, something was on my screen here. And that leads to basically what leads to your plot. Who's the killer? Who's going after them? Now, this is going to be, even though it's another older movie, I won't get into a bunch of spoilers. There's certain plot points I don't want to give up, mainly when it comes to who's the killer or killers, if they want to go the route of what happened in the first movie. I will tell you that Miss Jackie, Laurie Metcalf, however you say her last name, isn't who she says she is in this movie. You do find out her actual backstory towards the end of the movie. This movie is going to lead you in different directions as far as who you think the killer might be. There's even a point where you think it might even be Dewey, because even he's a little suspicious. They do kill off one of your main characters in this movie, and it is kind of sad, but you don't really get to sit on it very long because the pacing, it keeps going. They don't give you time to really process it, and I kind of like that. It's like, oh my god, this happened. You only get a little bit to let it sink in, and then they just keep on going. They will sway you. Is it Dewey? Could it be the boyfriend? Is it freaking Cotton Weary? They lead you to at least two who you're really like, could it be? Will it be? But then when you find out who the killer is, you might find yourself sitting there and saying, oh, well, I think I kind of saw that coming. But then, again, maybe you won't. It could catch you off surprise. As far as, characters, I like the dynamic you get between Dewey and freaking Gale again. Not only, I think it works because, as most people probably already know, David Arquette and Courtney Cox do get married. So you got that natural chemistry with them and how they're interacting. I believe they were dating at the time of this movie. I could be wrong. And then Sidney Prescott and where they put her at this point in time in her life, I like it. Her friend is a little annoying at times, but she's a college student. You kind of understand, and she is just trying to get Sidney back out there to, just get herself back in the world, not to hide, which you actually see in the third film. You see Sidney just kind of hiding, literally. This movie, to me, is the best of the series. Because I think the third one just kind of does go off the rails. It's way too complicated. This movie still keeps it tight, still keeps it contained while giving you a good story with good fleshed out characters. My favorite character, though, is Joel, played by Dwayne Martin. Dude is anti-trope black guy. He even says at one point, black men die first in these movies. I'm gone. And he just straight up leaves. Smartest dude in this whole movie. He represents the fans. It's like, dude, if you know something's happening, why are you sticking around? He's like, gone. I ain't doing this shit. So, Joel definitely was my favorite. Jerry O'Connell is Derek. Great character. Yeah, they leave you breadcrumbs with maybe he is, maybe he isn't the killer. but he's such a likable guy, because even when all this stuff is happening with Sydney, he's still there, and he's so super sweet and so understanding. The cafeteria scene when he's singing to her is freaking awesome. If nothing else, just go look up cafeteria scene Scream 2 and watch it for yourself. Him singing to Sydney it's awesome. And just his friend, what's his freaking name? I'm having a brain fart. Mickey. Mickey and his dynamics with Randy is pretty cool, because they're both like film buffs. His interaction with him and his interaction with Derek is super awesome. And then you can see Randy, he isn't a fan of Derek because, well, obviously Randy wants Sydney, but then you got Derek, who's just the real big, high school. He's the college jock who's the frat boy. And here's Randy, who's just a film student. So you can kind of see, and you don't get a lot of it, but you can see that there's a tension there as well. There's a lot that I could touch on in this movie that's really good. Like, this is, to me, the best of the series. Me and my best friend Joe, we used to watch the Scream movies. Joe had a major crush on Neve Campbell. I was Jennifer Love Hewitt. I was a big Jennifer Love Hewitt fan. We used to daydream about marrying these women one day. What do teenage boys do, right? So, Scream 2, the plot is good. The ending may be a little complicated, but this is just me nitpicking, just from my perspective. I think the use of the campus and the things that these students are doing, because you got like Sydney, who's in drama, and then using the killer in the scene when she's going through a walkthrough of their play that they're going to be doing, is good. So I like the way that they do this. I like the fact that they give you multiple people who could be the killer, but then they just kind of, they surprise you with what actually happens. Or maybe they won't, like I said, maybe they won't surprise you. But Scream 2, without a doubt, is an A+ type movie to me. This movie gets 10 out of 10 for me. There's not a lot for me to nitpick on this movie, and I've rewatched it several times. And I am objective when it comes back to movies. As you'll see in tomorrow's video, there are things I can point out that don't make sense in some movies, but I love this movie. So I'm Zach with the Yo Bro Gaming and Review channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, subscribe now. Hit that notification bell. Punch it in the face. Get all the updated videos that we have posted. Also, go to our new sister channel, Yo Bro Podcast Network. We got video content going up there. It's podcast form. I got a new Daredevil series uploaded there. Go watch that. Also, you can join us on Twitter. Twitter.com/YoBroGaming1. We have Patreon. We have TeePublic. We got our Kissing Bandit t-shirt. We have other t-shirts on there that you can go and get. Do those. All the links to all our stuff is down in the description below. We also have Facebook. Facebook.com/YoBroGaming and Reviews. Go to do all that stuff. And if you don't want to do any of those things, just hit the like button. That's all I ask. Hit the like button. That's pretty much going to do it for me for this review. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Once again, I have a Halloween special coming up on Wednesday, maybe early Thursday morning. So thank you guys. I'm Zach with the Yo Bro Gaming and Review channel, Yo Bro Nation. Thank you guys, and I will see you.